Hey, Jason here from Simply Swider. If your Samsung washer is showing
Great.
an
Just
ND5C
absolutely
or SE
great.
error
The
code
water
with
won't
water
drain.
sitting in the drum, don't panic. I'll show you exactly how to fix this in the next 15 minutes. The good news, about 70% of these issues are simple fixes that cost under $20. No expensive pump replacements needed. Before we get started, if you run into any questions, jump into our Facebook group. Links in the description. We've got thousands of people helping each other fix their appliances, and I pop in there daily to help out. Now, here's what's happening behind the scenes. These Samsung washers have a pretty smart drainage system with multiple layers of protection. You've got your debris filter that catches all the junk, then the pump motor that pushes water out, and finally the drain hose that carries it away. When you see those ND5C or SE codes, the washer is basically saying, hey, water didn't leave like it was supposed to. But here's the thing, that doesn't tell us why it didn't leave. Real world breakdown, roughly 60 to 90% of these cases come down to that debris filter being clogged up. Pump failures are next, then hose problems and control board issues are actually pretty rare. Think in layers. Filtration catches debris, pump provides power, hose provides the exit path. The error is going to live in one of those layers. Our job is to figure out which one with the fastest checks first. So the big one, and I mean this is probably 70% of the Samsung drain problems I see, is the debris filter getting completely packed with gunk. You'll find this little filter behind a small door at the bottom front of your washer. Here's what happens. Every wash cycle, lint, hair, coins, bobby pins, you name it, it all gets caught in this filter to protect the pump. Problem is, nobody ever cleans the thing. I had this customer last month call me in a panic. Washer making this awful humming noise, water everywhere, thought her pump was shot. Turns out that filter was packed so tight with lint and hair, looked like she'd been washing sheep in there. The pump was working fine, just couldn't push water through all that crud. Here's how to safely check it, and this step is crucial. First, unplug your washer for safety. Look for a small emergency drain hose next to the filter door. Pull that tube out and place it in a shallow pan or towels. You'll get about 2 cups of water. Trust me, skip this step and you'll flood your laundry room floor. Wait for the water to stop flowing before touching the filter. Once it's drained, twist that filter cap counterclockwise. If it's packed with debris, there's your problem. Clean it out, rinse it good, and twist it back in hand tight. Don't use a drill. These plastic threads strip easy. Next up, drain hose issues. These are way more common than you think, and here's the thing, a lot of them happen during installation. Pull your washer out from the wall and take a look at that corrugated drain hose coming out the back. I can't tell you how many times I've seen washers push back too far, kinking that hose like a garden hose. Here's the sneaky problem most people miss. Even if your hose looks perfect, it might be pushed too deep into your wall's drain pipe. Look at your setup. If more than 6 inches of hose disappears into that wall pipe, you've found your problem. This creates a vacuum seal that blocks drainage, just like putting your thumb over a straw. Had a guy last week swear his pump was dead, but when I pulled that hose up a few inches, boom, drained like a champ. You want to make sure that standpipe is between 18 and 96 inches high and the hose isn't jammed down in there. Quick test, blow air through the hose from the washer end, should feel pretty free flowing. Now we get into actual pump failures. Here's your 30-second pump test. Locate the pump impeller. It looks like a small plastic fan blade. Try spinning it with your finger. A working pump feels jerky and resistant, like it's fighting you every quarter turn. If it spins smooth and easy like a fidget spinner, your impeller is broken and needs replacement. This is actually a design weakness on some Samsung pumps. The motor will hum and spin the shaft, but the impeller blade just sits there doing nothing. I remember this lady who bought 3 different pumps online trying to fix this, kept testing them with a multimeter, getting good continuity readings, but they wouldn't move water. Turned out everyone had that shared impeller. Sometimes you'll also get grinding noises or complete silence when the motor windings burn out. If you're comfortable with electrical work, you can test for 10 to 25 ohms resistance across the motor terminals, but honestly, the spin test tells you more. Here's one that really trips people up. Blockage in that thick rubber accordion hose that connects the tub to the pump. Small stuff like socks, underwear, or coins can slip past the door seal and get stuck in there before they ever reach that debris filter. I call it the bag of sand problem because when you squeeze that hose, it feels like there's a bag of sand sitting in there. Had this customer who cleaned the filter, replaced the pump, even called another repair guy before me. Turned out there was a sock and about 50 cents in change packed in that sump hose. Here's how to check. You'll need to access the thick black accordion hose under your washer. Gently squeeze along its length. It should feel empty and squishy. If you feel solid lumps or it's rock hard in spots, you found your blockage. For small items, try massaging them toward the pump. For larger blockages, you'll need to remove the hose clamp and clear it manually. This takes about 10-15 minutes. Control board problems are actually the least common cause, but they do happen. This is where the washer isn't sending power to the pump at all. You'll know this is the issue if you've checked everything else and the pump never gets voltage during the drain cycle. I had this customer who replaced the pump twice before calling me. Turned out a relay on the main board had failed, so the pump was never getting its 120 volts. The tricky part is this requires live voltage testing, which can be dangerous if you don't know what you're doing. If you suspect this is your problem, it might be time to call someone like me. These boards run anywhere from 150 to 300 bucks, so you want to be sure before you replace it. Drain hose replacement runs about 80 bucks for the OEM part, but honestly, most drain hose problems don't need a new hose. Usually it's just kinked or installed wrong. That's a free fix. Only time you really need a new hose is if it's damaged internally or has holes in it. The sump hose itself rarely needs replacing. Usually you're just clearing debris out of it, so that's a $0 fix. If the hose is damaged, you're looking at maybe 40 to 60 bucks, but that's pretty rare. Main control boards are the expensive option, anywhere from 150 to 300 depending on your model. And honestly, if your washer's over 8 years old and needs a new board, you might want to start thinking about replacement instead of repair. These boards also require some electrical know-how to install safely, so this might be where you call a pro. All right, let's talk money. What you're looking at cost-wise versus calling someone like me. The good news is most of these problems are either free fixes or pretty cheap parts. Way cheaper than a service call, that's for sure. Here's the breakdown on what these parts actually cost and when you might want to tackle it yourself versus calling a pro. Now you can see right there on the screen the Samsung models that see these drainage problems most often. Front load units, especially the WF series, are really prone to that clogged filter issue because of where the filter is located and how much debris they catch. The top load WA series tends to have more actual pump failures. Seems like those impellers separate from the shaft more often. And the newer bespoke models are really sensitive to drain hose installation. Gotta get that height and insertion depth just right, or you'll get these codes. Here's your game plan. Start with the debris filter check. It's free and fixes 70% of these problems in under 10 minutes. If that doesn't work, check your drain hose setup, then test the pump motor. Save the control board diagnosis for last since it's the most expensive fix. Remember to clean that filter every 2-3 months to prevent future problems. Here's the prevention tip that'll save you headaches. Clean that filter every couple months and always check pockets before throwing clothes in the wash. Those coins and bobby pins are pump killers. If this helped you get your Samsung washer draining again, hit that like button and drop a comment below. Let me know which fix worked for you. Really helps other people with the same problem. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. If you guys know someone who's having appliance troubles, please send them the link to this video or a link to my channel where I have tons of other videos showing how to fix pretty common issues with appliances, sometimes for free or as little cost as possible. It sure beats having a repairman come out and spending several hundred for them to fix it when it could be something so simple. Thanks for watching, and I hope you guys have a great day.